As I'm sure most of you know already, the One Big Beautiful Bill has passed, and there's a certain segment of society who is panicking over the results of this bill.
I'm done. Cut the show.
Well, first, let's stop calling it a bill. It's now law. So just like the wage garnishments that came earlier, at this point, there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm done. Take me off. Take me off. Cut the show. I'm done.
Now, getting someone to accept that fact is easier said than done, but inevitably, everyone who is affected by the results of this bill will have to accept its results. Of course, this bill changed the tax code, but today we're going to talk about welfare, Section 8, and food stamps. Now, this conversation may be a little tough for you, so maybe take a seat and grab you a beer.
Is this nigga serious?
Yep. Welcome to the Mr. Wilson's Got a Headache podcast. I'm your host, Dennis the Menace. If you want to see more content like this, you already know what to do. Check this out.
This bill represents the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It will devastate vulnerable populations all across America.
Today, the president said this bill will turn the country into a rocket ship, saying it's the biggest tax cut in history, covering both security and immigration. He's celebrating in Iowa tonight and plans to sign the bill tomorrow on the 4th of July. More than 100,000 Oregonians could lose their SNAP benefits as a result of the bill, according to advocates.
They say will also eliminate free meal programs at hundreds of schools and child care centers across the state. K2 Shelby Slaughter joins us live now, and advocates say this bill will be devastating. Those who support the bill say this is about eliminating fraud, Shelby.
It's got to be tough to one day have access to food stamps and the next day they're gone or they're cut drastically, especially if you've been sitting there for a decade or two receiving these food stamps and it's become normal to you. In other videos that I've done, I've talked about how I grew up in certain neighborhoods and I witnessed people teaching other people how to game the system. So I'm 100% sure there's a large population of people receiving benefit who are only receiving them because they don't want to go to work and they much rather receive these things for free. I mean, to be honest, if I could live for free, I would.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't thinking about it.
No, I wouldn't. I'm too independent. I like to do my own thing. I really don't like people saying too much about what I do. I like to make my own decisions.
I don't believe you.
And I really have a problem accepting handouts, so I much rather work for it. The mindset that makes people want to accept benefits has been passed down from generation to generation. There's a truth as to how we got here, and that started with legislation passed by the Democratic Party in the 70s and 80s. Some say in the 60s, but 70s and 80s, a lot of the warehouse jobs started to be shipped out of the community. The primary people who worked in those warehouses were African American men, and during that time, all of a sudden we were introduced to all of this welfare, subsidies for housing, projects began to get built, and food stamps. And there were requirements that if you wanted to receive those benefits as a woman with children, the father could no longer live in the house. Now, some people say that mentioning that is an excuse, but it's just because you lost your mind. It is a fact. So if you're fact-based, how can you deny this fact? This is the root of where we are today. Once these new single mothers saw that they could completely survive off the government and they could do what they wanted to and they didn't have to listen to anybody else, well, that's all she wrote. And just to be clear, this behavior does not just show up in the black community. It shows up in the white community, the Mexican community, the immigrant community, the black community. And as a result, we have people who are willing to come out publicly on social media and say stuff like this.
I'm screwed. I'm screwed. They took my food stamps away. Just went grocery shopping at Kroger. My card was declined 3 separate times. Not only that, my cash benefits was not added on my card today. My Section 8 is now red flagged. My caseworker is not even trying to work with me. Not even trying. She said because I have this Range Rover and this BMW that I refuse to sell, that all of my shit is on a hold right now. How can the government force somebody to sell a vehicle? The vehicles aren't even in my name, so they aren't even mine. Yes, I drive them. Yes, they're in my boyfriend's name, and we do live together, but they're not in my name. How is this okay? Is this happening to anybody else, or is it just me?
It's crazy how a person can be on government benefits, receive Social Security, receive disability for themselves and their children and their boyfriend, receive food stamps. At one point, she said somewhere around $2,000 or $3,000, which I am blown away. I didn't know they were giving away that type of money. Financial assistance, where they actually just give them money, and they drive a Range Rover and a BMW. So the question is, how do you have the money to maintenance that Range Rover and BMW? Obviously, there had to be some extra money coming in somewhere, because getting an oil change on a BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, a luxury car, can cost you over $1,000. Trying to buy those custom tires, oh man, so if you know how to look between the lines, there's some money coming into that house somewhere. And these people are living a six-figure life almost off of the benefits alone, and probably not reporting any of their other income. While there are millions, hundreds of millions of Americans working a full-time job, a part-time job, maybe a small side hustle, maybe cutting some grass on the weekend, or selling feet pics. Don't send me your feet pics. Every time I see feet bare, I think about toe jam. I'm not asking for feet pics. I don't want them.
I don't believe you.
And this person is accepting benefits and making excuses about how they cannot afford to live. I did a video that was talking about how American spending habits is destroying themselves and this country. I did that for a reason. We live in a time right now where everybody want to say that they deserve this and they deserve that. The truth is, you only deserve what you work for. I only know what you think if you let me know. I appreciate you rocking with me today. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.